Oh, it's a good morning. It's a good Friday morning when I get to see Radio Face in person. Well, not in person, on Zoom, which is stupid. Why are we doing a Zoom?
I really don't
I
know.
work 4 feet away from you.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, have times changed that much that me and Angie Martinez got to do a Zoom conversation?
That's so stupid. Our time schedules are different. By the time I get in, you're gone. I never see you. People think we see each other all the time. Time I get in, you're gone, and then whatever. But anyway, hi, I haven't seen you or spoken to you since the show. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Friday nights, everybody. Tonight is a new episode. It is the first weekend I was watching. I was like, ooh, he's not scared.
I feel, well, first of all, I think your glasses are phenomenal, by the way. I don't know what those are. Are those prescription? Are those for style?
They are. I can't see you. I can't see you if I take them off. You're like mad blurry.
Those are fire. But yeah, I feel like, you know, I mean, I've come too far to play it safe at this point. Like, you know, and this is my third iteration of a talk show. You know, I started off with a talk show called Charlamagne and Friends back in the day on MTV2. That evolved into Uncommon Sense, which I did for like 3 years on MTV2. And, you know, 5 years later, I'm back in position with my man Chris McCarthy, you know, who gave me those shots at MTV2, and now I'm doing the God's Honest Truth, and it's just like, man, at the point I'm at in my life right now, I'm like, if I can't do it the way I want to do it, what's the point of doing it?
What is the point? You know, I feel you. You know, I understand that completely.
Absolutely.
But it's still, it's not like, can you do what you want to do? But it's also like when you go out the box and you push buttons and you say things that you know are going to piss people off, and for good reason, by the way. Mm-hmm. But there's still a noise that, especially you, who always talks about your mental health and anxiety and all of that. It's like you are welcoming this energy back to you. So I wonder how you're doing with all of that.
I'm fine with any smoke that comes with really speaking truth to power about things that actually mean something.
Yeah.
If it's you know, beef with a rapper or beef with some entertainer, it's like, Charlamagne, I didn't even have to say that. Like that, like, you know what I mean? Like certain things you just don't have to say, but certain things absolutely need to be said. And I feel like the things that we're discussing on the God's Honest Truth need to be said. Like the first episode was the decrackification of America. And I was showing the correlations. Well, I was showing how in Germany they had denazification and how they took out all of this Nazi ideology and symbolism out of Germany. And I'm like, yo, we should do the same thing over here, but let's call it decrackification. You can't really get mad at the word.
I felt educated watching that show. I felt like there were things for sure that I was unaware of that made sense.
Yes.
But you know, it was you know, it's just bold and brave of you is what I mean.
But people think the word crack is a slur. It's not. It's an actual word that means a racist bigot. There's an actual book that Dana St. Clair, a white person, wrote called Cracker, breaking down the word and the history of that word and why people use it. So words matter.
What was the feedback? What were the letters like, or what was the feedback after the first episode?
A lot of anonymous go back to Africa. A lot of anonymous, you know, this is just race baiting. You know, you're causing a divide. And I said it at the end of the show. If you're more upset at me using the word cracker than you are over all the racist, bigoted, systemic, you know, oppression that we've seen in this country that makes you a cracker, then you probably a crack-ass cracker too.
Yeah, well, people who are comfortable with the status quo are very uncomfortable with change.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Obviously, that is not our problem.
And every episode, like, you know, the second episode was Only the Feds I Fear, where I broke down the FBI, you know, and you know, how J. Edgar Hoover, and the third episode was Critical Racist Theory, because I talk about how they're trying to keep critical race theory and the 1619 Project out of schools, but this is just the latest example of them trying to keep, you know, Black and brown people dumb, deaf, and blind. And tonight's episode is called Keep That Same Healing Energy.
I like this. Talk to me. Tell me about it.
World Mental Health Day is Sunday. And so, you know, I did an episode just asking the question, like, you know, whose responsibility is it for us to heal? You know, and the answer is the person in the mirror, always. And so, you know, I just break down, you know, a lot of the things that we've
so true.
I break down a lot of the things that we've normalized in our community, a lot of the, you know, self-medicating that we do, a lot of the things we turn to instead of actually turning to real healing. And then I have Dr. Rita Walker on tonight. She's the author of The Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health. Resma Minikim He's the author of My Grandmother's Hands. And I have our friend Michelle Williams,
Oh,
who has
dope.
the book Checking In and the podcast Checking In on the Black Effect Podcast Network. They're all on tonight. And my man Chico Bean at Iceware Vezo. I sent Chico Bean at Iceware Vezo to a mental health gym called Inception, because, those brothers have had a lot of traumatic things happen to them in their life. Chico just lost his mom, and, he lost his mom to COVID a couple months ago, and Iceware's lost some people. So I sent them to, kind of get started on their healing journey to Inception.
Wow.
So tonight's a powerful episode.
Wow. That sounds dope. First of all, I love, I'm sure people give you these props and these flowers all the time for really normalizing this conversation, but it really is working. Sometimes even now I'm like interviewing people and they're comfortably just throwing out how they're like, yeah, because my therapist, or yeah, in therapy. And really, you have to feel good about knowing how much you have played in that kind of normalization of the conversation.
I have not thought about it.
Yeah, you should be proud though. You should be proud.
I'm still on my healing journey. Like I tell people,
no, you. I mean, shit, we all are.
Yeah,
we all are all the time.
I'm not an expert at anything. I'm just the person who is sharing their experience.
Even if at the very least you're credited for helping to normalize the conversation, that is a tremendous accomplishment.
Okay, Angie, I'll take it. All right.
All right. Stop being like that. Just take your flower, man. Like I was trying to give you a flower, you didn't even want it. You should have accepted my flower I was giving you.
Okay, I'll accept it. I'll take it. All right.
By the way, speaking of normalizing that conversation and doing something in the space, we should talk about what's happening on Sunday.
Yes, Sunday is my first ever Mental Wealth Expo, and it's at the Marriott Marquis in Times Square. It's from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., and, it's a day of mental health and healing education. And, throughout the day, we have a bunch of different panels, like Michelle Williams. She'll be doing her podcast, Checking In Live. She's actually sitting down with a psychiatrist, a therapist that I love named Jay Barnett. Debbie Brown is sitting down with Anita Kopax. Anita Kopax is a spiritual consultant, sexual trauma, I can't even remember the exact title. I was about to say sexual trauma coach, but that don't sound right. No. But that's her area of expertise, and she wrote the book Shallow Water. So her and Debbie Brown will be sitting down. But then we have a Black woman's mental health panel, a Black men's mental health panel. We have these breakout rooms. So if you're somebody dealing with anxiety or depression, you can go in these rooms and have a real up close and personal, conversation with someone. Shanti Das is leading a suicide prevention room. We got rooms for families that are dealing with people who have schizophrenia and bipolar and mental health issues, because nobody talks about that, right? Nobody talks about the people, the family and friends who have to deal with individuals who have bipolar, schizophrenia, and what their mental illness does to their family's mental health. So
they have to carry that.
That's right.
That. Yeah. So,
and it's free and open to the public.
I love that. I was just going to ask you, how do people go? So it's Sunday. So can anybody just show up? I mean, how does that work?
Of course, it's New York City, so you got to follow the COVID guidelines, the vaccination guidelines and stuff like that. But yeah, other than that, it's free and open to the public. You can go to mentalwealthexpo.com. They do have some special things that you could RSVP for, but other than that, yeah, it's free and open to the public from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
11 a.m., 4 p.m. Sunday, free and open to the public. So where do people go to, just to get all the info or to sign up or to do any kind of vaccination early,
mentalwealthexpo.com, mentalwealthexpo.com. And I got to salute iHeart, Amanda at iHeart and Thea and, Joe for just helping me put this together. Got to salute my foundation, the Mental Wealth Alliance, Dr. Alfie Noble. Thank y'all very much, because it was just an idea that I had. Because, growing up in radio, especially down south, we had the Black Expo. And, here in New York at the Jacob Javison, it's always the Health Expo. So I was like, man, how do you combine those two things? And let mental health be the focus. So I was like, yo, let's do the mental wealth expo.
I love that. It's such a dope idea. And because, it's especially for people who are have wanted to and are hearing the messages, but don't know what the first step. I think this is a great first step for somebody who hasn't done that yet, just to kind of show up. You could even be just a fly on the wall and see how the conversations are going and maybe get some literature. I'm sure you're going to have a ton of that there.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's got booths. Dr. Rita Walker will be there with her books. Resma Minicum will be there with his books. But you hit it on the head. Everybody comes up to me and they be like, oh, man, where do I find a therapist? Or, what does beginning the process of healing look like? And I'm like, man, let's create something to where people can come and meet people and get some resources to just start that process. So that's literally what this is. Like you said, just come and listen. I promise you, you're just gonna come and listen. You're gonna walk away with a bunch of cards and flyers and everything else. And I guarantee you that next week you're gonna have somebody that you'll be able to reach out to for something.
Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. I'm about to give you another flower. I feel a flower coming. Give you another flower.
I just want to do I want to do what God puts on my heart to do. That's all.
No, I totally feel you on that. I wish I would have known earlier. Please, I want to be included in next year. You know, I got some game to spit too about PTSD and trauma and that conversation. Which
definitely 100%. Like, this is something I want to do a couple times a year. So it's not even just something I'm doing on like World Mental Health Day. I want to do this like 2 or 3 times a year in different cities. Cause like you said, I just want to get people started on their first steps. Like tonight on the talk show on the God's Honest Truth, when you hear Chico and Ice Wear Vezo talking, when they went to Inception and they had to like sit still for an hour and meditate, and like they literally was like, man, this one, I think Ice Wear or Chico, one of them said, this felt like the first step in a million steps to where I need to be. And that's all I want. I just want people to take that first step. Because I know when I took my first step 5-6 years ago, man, it's literally done wonders for me as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a friend, you know, just as a human. So I just want everybody I really want everybody to feel what I feel. That's all.
I love that. Good job, Charla.
Thank you, Angie Ma. That means the world coming from you.
Super proud of you. Super happy for you. And we'll be tuned in tonight, Comedy Central, everybody. It's an important show.
It is. 10 p.m.
It's fun to watch. So we'll see you soon. Next time I'm going to see you. I'm going to come next door and we'll do this in person.
Let's do it.
All right. We'll see you Sunday also.
Thank you,
One time. Charlamagne, baby. Bye.
Peace.